This is a personal message to Joel Natario, aka Miguel Natario, although last I heard that he was in New York, and what is gradually becoming the graveyard of the East Coast in the U.S. because of the mortality rates are higher than they are in the West Coast. Um, anyway, Joel Natario, aka Miguel Natario, you know who this is. And the reason I'm making this video is because I've kind of contemplated many things over the number of months to about a year and a half or more. And and I know that while I was when I moved in with you at first in Palo Alto, I remember I gave you some advice when it came to a girl that you met online, and this was years before Rachel. So Rachel, you can't get upset, even though I know you might think you can, but you can't. But anyway, logically that is. Anyway, and at the same time, I don't know if you're with Rachel, but I saw your little baby, and the little one's adorable. And I don't know if you saw mine, but they are adorable too. Um, And I know with the fact that I've been part of the Latter day Saints church, I went against their belief system at one point, but nothing in the basic pornographic aspects or whatever, but in the sense of alcohol, which I repented for after I got back, after I moved into the Mountain View location, but now I'm over in a different location. And I know before I moved over to the Mountain View location, while you were with Rachel, I may have betrayed your trust and confidence, and it may not have seemed like I gave a damn, but I did, still do. Um, the one thing is though too is that there was a lot of things going on, and all the things said and whatnot, all at once, because we were just like Rachel was over here, you were over here, and I was right here, type of thing. Um, how I remember that succinctly, believe me, I remember a lot of things. I wouldn't really call that a curse. I call that a positive thing to remember many things, even in my past. The positive things. Of course, I know there's been many negative things, but I do remember when with that scooter accident, you checked to see if I was okay, and I do like that. I heard you, and you stayed with me the whole way through, and I more than appreciate that, and I do thank you for that. Miguel, aka Joel Natario, I know we go through a lot of things in life, and I've been wanting to say this and more to you on Messenger, but I've been each time I tried to get in contact with you, even with the fact that you've been possibly busy, which I understand. But the one thing is also is that I am here to start to tell you I'm here for you, my friend. You and I went through a lot. We've done a whole lot of shit. We joked around even at the sports shop, even in front of Eric, Hager, of course. And we joked around with Gina. We joked around with Ed Hoffacker. Um, Although Gina has kind of gotten a little beyond senile at this point, but at least from the way she reacted towards me in about a year or so ago from now. Um, the only one I've been mainly keeping in contact with was Paula, seeing that I haven't been able to keep in contact with you. Uh, and at the same time, I don't know if you're still in New York or what, or if you're even still with Rachel or not. I don't know. But you know, I remember when I gave you the advice. When it came to a girl that you met online, when you let me live with you over in Palo Alto, right across the street from the sports shop, right next door to the post office. Um, I can give you a lot more than advice now. With the fact that I've acquired and incurred more knowledge in knowing the male and female psyche and the basic psychology as well. And with the fact of that though too is that I still consider you a friend. You may not consider me a friend, I understand. But the one thing is, it's not good though to hold a grudge or whatever else. That's bad. Um, but the basic fact is forgiveness lightens all things from within us. Um, you know that it was said, and obviously I didn't believe it until I saw it for myself. That women have more. There are women out there that will do anything at all, but and to the point of separating those who they are with away from those who care about them, including their friends. And I believe that's what Rachel was doing right at that very point when she stayed at your place at your place while I was there as well, and then went to her place, and you stayed at her place for a night or two, and then she and you went back to the place that you and I were sharing rent at, right? Over in Sunnyvale. That was her plan. It seemed to be. If it wasn't, and I'm not being judgmental here, it just seemed that way. Even though if it was, and she denies it, only Heavenly Father knows, Rachel. And believe me, I have a sense that He knows that you were exactly doing that even while at the warehouse, even though you were trying to be nonchalant about it. And very discreet as well. If you really do care about Miguel, aka Joel Natario, Rachel, you would have easily made sure that that he and I, being friends for a number of years, would have stayed friends, and you wouldn't have tried to break his true friends like myself and him and many others at the sports shop and him apart. Because I believe that's exactly what you were doing. You wanted him for yourself, and that's a very sinful thing right there. Spiritual. You cannot try to close one person off from their friends before they met you, and yet you can get all the friends that you want, but he only has to be friends with who you choose to. You can't work it that way, Rachel. That's very disrespectful and very uncaring and unloving, as well as more immortal spiritual sin. And also, you're going against his human rights. I don't care if you like me or not, Rachel, but the basic fact is I'm telling you straight truth. Anyways, Miguel, aka Joel Natario, I still consider you a friend, like I said. I still consider you a brother because we've done a lot of shit. We've gone through a lot of shit. We've helped each other through a lot of shit. We've talked a lot about a thing. We've talked a lot about many things. We've gone places, not really extravagant places, but you know. I remember that one. Also, we I rode my bike. You rode your motorcycle on the way home. And when we were in your Toyota with a Suzuki type engine, motorcycle type engine, we were kind of racing one dude in a Porsche or something, or a Lamborghini or whatever it was, on the freeway, and he at one point he went through one exit, and we just kind of gradually noticed that as we started racing down the thing, you know. And we did it in such a way. We did it in such a time that there was hardly any vehicles on there. Maybe very little along the way, but you know, there's many things about you, Miguel, aka Joel Natario, that I will always remember, and I've never forgotten. You helped me through a lot of things, and I've helped you through a number of things. Maybe not as much as you helped me through with, you know, but I still can. And you know that model that I had when I first moved in with you? It was a square type of model made out of popsicle sticks. It was supposed to be. I was trying to do, at one point. I was trying to build the very first store of CVS, even though I hate CVS. And although it didn't come out the way I wanted it to. Right. I've been working on one model, and this is one of them. This one's going to be the store 292, the University Avenue store of Long. Uh, yeah, I still have yet to. I'm still working on this one. Plus, I have another one which is which is bigger than that one. It's right over there. And like I said, it's bigger, and it's going to be a Taco Bell, not the ones with a curvature type of thing or whatnot, but the new age ones, I suppose you'd call them, or the millennial versions anyway. Um, like I said, if I did betray your trust and confidence, I do apologize. Before this, of course, this was before I went over to my own place in Mountain View, and of course, I ended up back over outside of Mountain View now. I'm somewhere where I'm not going to mention, although I did go back to Sacramento eventually, but I'm not going to mention where I'm at right now. Uh, but the one thing though too is I like I said I still consider you a friend and I still consider you a brother, Joel, aka Miguel Natario. Um, like I said, I've been wanting to say a lot of things to you. via Facebook Messenger. Even what I'm saying right now, and even what I said even before I paused, like I just did. Um, but the one thing though too is that it's better for people to stay close together. And I'm not talking male and female, because the females are trying to use marriage as a business to benefit the woman, where daddy government essentially will drain us men, and of financial aspects and resources, and give it to the woman. I am part now of a male philosophy type, if you want to call it a group or whatnot, but it is a philosophy known as MGTOW, and I'm still advocating. Um, I do remember that one uh, Indian tribal thing we went to over in the field of Stanford. It was myself, you, Rachel, and Gina. Um, I do remember that. It was somewhat diagonally across the street from the from the Embarcadero Town and Country Village in Palo Alto. Mm. And when I had that scooter accident, you made sure I was okay, and I thank you for that. You asked me if I was okay, and I was like this, and we walked, both of us walked over to what was then Blockbuster Video, and you stayed with me the whole way through till the ambulance, or the paramedics, really. And I do thank you for that. And I do thank you for helping me through, especially when I had uh, the the particular things, and after being in that particular situation for a number of days and months. Um, and I know they asked me if I still remember all the things that I remember before the accident, and I said I do, and I still do, even a lot more. I have tried to keep in contact with you even on Facebook Messenger, and I know it may take you some time to forgive me for betraying your trust and confidence, even on the things that you didn't want Rachel to know. Um, and I know it happened where you were right here, Rachel was right here, and I was right here, and it was a whole vocal thing. Um, I don't remember what the fudge was said exactly, but I had a feeling where it went to where I betrayed your trust and confidence, which I do apologize for again. But again, like I said, Joel Natario, aka Miguel Natario, I do consider you a close friend and a brother still. And yes, this video will be on BitChute as well as YouTube. Although if anybody else had it on put it on Twitter or whatever other social media site, then you know. But Miguel, aka Joel Natario, that like I said, I can still help you through many things as I did before, and I know you helped me through a lot more positive than I remember. But I could still do more as well. Um, Although I heard from Gina that Rachel was worried about you because you kept on drinking and all this other stuff. According to this is what I heard from Gina. Okay, before she went completely senile, from the way she reacted to me on various other things beyond that point. Beyond the aspect of that, anyway. Um, but and of course at the same time I've been trying to keep in close contact with Paula too, and she's going through. Paula Wilson is going through her own things. Her mother passed away, and I hate that. And I know she's still trying to cope with that as best she can. I know that. We all go through things in our lives that we don't want to go through and should not have to go through. But sometimes we end up having to anyway. But it's a lesson to be learned to better handle things. No matter how tough they may seem, we can always make them as easy to deal with if we so choose, no matter what they are. It's not Confucius either. Um, and as I started believing when I moved back up to Sacramento, but I'm not going to tell you where I'm at right now. Um, is that this whole entire planet is like a spiritual educational ground of sorts. We learn things as we go. We deal with things that come towards our way. We do what we can to better handle it without, hopefully, without stressing. And I know the way to do that without where nobody has to stress. But of course, nobody wants to ask me. But here's the other thing too: you're asking me if I have dated. You want to know if I've dated? No. Um, and it's a good thing though too, is because with what I know, not all women are willing to be around a person that has as much knowledge as I do, and I'm okay with that because obviously I scare women with all the things that I know, especially when it comes to male female psyche, with the male and female psyche. And they don't want to be around guys that know that shit, that knows the interpersonal and various other attributes within the female themselves. That's becoming more than clear every year. It has been becoming more than clear every year, actually. And I've still helped many people even after moving back up to Sacramento and and to where I'm at right now, which again I'm not going to say. You know me, Miguel Natario, aka Joel Natario, to be a very caring, loving, honest person and a helpful person. I helped many people in the sports shop. I have helped you in the sports shop. I have helped you even outside the sports shop. We joked around, like I said earlier, and we've done a lot of things in the sense of hanging out places to start with. And I'm being very sincere when I say I do apologize for betraying your trust and confidence, if I did at all. If you remember, even before I moved over to the Mountain View location of my own place in 2014, between 2013 2014, somewhere in that area. Um, but by 2015 2016, I moved to Sacramento. But now I'm not going to tell you where I'm at right now, though. I'm not going to say where I'm at anyways right now. I could be totally outside of Sacramento, but again, I'm not going to say if I am and where I am. So generally, Miguel, aka Joel Natario, I do remember when I first met you though, and it wasn't when I was working with you at the sports shop. It was outside of that when you took taxis and the DB bus. When I began to know you more and more. And then when I got to know you more and more, even while working with you, and then when I was also working for Longs, I began to know more about you as well. And we got to do a lot of things even beyond that point too. See, that's one of many things, Miguel, aka Joel Natario, I will never forget. There's a lot of things that I will never forget that you and I have gone through and been through and have done. Now, Miguel, I'm going to say Miguel, aka Joel Natario. I'm going to say this. You can contact me on Facebook Messenger, or if you still have my number, you can call me as well. Or even if you still have my email address too, you can email me. And I know Rachel will try to divert you from even keeping in contact with me. In fact, that's what I've said that women do to people who they go are going with and want to be with. They want to separate the guy from their friends, and to where but the woman has a way to where she can be with her friends. And that's not logical, and it's very sinful of women to do that type of shit. She'll deny it. I know that, but I've seen it, and Rachel's one example. I know there's many things that Rachel wasn't really too sure of me on things, but you know what? I can care less. People have more than a tendency to make fast judgments. I'm not judging. I tell it how I see it. And if Rachel or you want to say that I'm judging, hey, that's fine. But I'm not. In the aspect of Heavenly Father and our Savior, they know I'm not judging. Because if I did, I would repent even on this video. That's how seriously and truthful I am and honest I am on that as well. I've been telling it how I see it from day one. Even before I met you, before I knew Rachel, before I knew Gina, before I knew Ed, Eric, Andy Bugan, Ian Barnes, Paula Wilson, Christy, Veronica, and I shall go on. But you get my drift. I know that. I am seeing with the fact that I know psychology, Miguel, aka Joel Natario, and I know the male and female psyche. I can give you some time to mull it over or think about it or think it through, even after watching this video. And I do remember again that we raced a person on the freeway in the Toyota. And I don't know if you still have that dark motorbike or not, or something even more advanced than that after the red one. But Miguel, aka Joel Natario, I'm being more than sincere, more than heartfelt, more than spiritually sincere and heartfelt and genuine and honest of everything I've said on this video. Whether you believe me or not, that's up to you. But know this, and I do mean, and I'm saying this, it's better to not to dwell on things and not to hold grudges too long because it can hurt you emotionally from within and psychologically from within. It can make you feel. It can change your moods and attitudes about things and people, even though that's not really the person who you are. Yes, people change over time, but what I'm saying about what I said about that actual thing is more than factual. It just takes the person to actually acknowledge that and to work through it to where they can be who they are and want to be. And no woman would be able to divert them in any way and for any reason, even for the feminist, selfish bullshit reason. Even with the fucking fact that daddy government will try to take you for everything you have and give it to Rachel if you married her. Financial and resources alike. And yes, I'm part of MGTOW and I know the male female psyche and I know the way women are today. And like I said, I'm more than okay with the fact that women don't like people who know as much as I do, especially psychologically, and when it comes to male female psyche situations, as well as it comes in their interpersonal shit, like the menstrual periods, the menstrual cramps, the fucking way they operate, the way they think, and shit like that. You know, their interpersonal shit as well. Their fucking true natures versus what they were when they were teenagers and before they became teenagers. And you probably will say, no, I learned this from having children. No, I knew this before I even became a father and before you became a father. Joel Natario, aka Miguel Natario. As I said, I always will and always have considered you a brother and a close friend. And I meant everything I said. If you want me to say more, let me know. On Messenger, Facebook Messenger, or even email, or even phone call. I do care about you and I do worry about you as well, as a true friend and brother should. I want you to stay safe. I pray that you will stay safe. And I don't know if you married Rachel or not, but if you didn't, don't. Because believe me, if she decides to divorce you, daddy government will be able to give her everything of yours. That's including financial and everything you have, and she'd be able to sell whatever you have in the sense of motor vehicles, even if you got a motorbike. Again, Miguel Natario, aka Joel Natario. Joel Natario. I'm saying this from my heart, and I've been wanting to reach out to you, but like I said, you haven't been responding on Facebook Messenger for various reasons. I'm sure you're busy with being a father and everything and working, but I know at some point you used to give yourself some time to relax and whatnot. Although I know that with women it's not that easy. Trust me on that. Because women will nag you to death practically. I'm not saying my ex did, but there are women out there that do. And I'm not going to say whether or not if Rachel is one of them, but if she is, that's probably why you started drinking more, which I can I can totally understand. I can more than sympathize on that too. And I know Rachel and other women like Rachel will probably take that as an insult. I don't give a damn. Because Rachel tried to separate you from me and you being friends and brothers and separated your true other friends from you. That was her true intent. Outside of you deciding to move to New York. And I'm being honest with what I say. And if Rachel likes me for saying the truth, I don't give a damn if she does or doesn't. And like I said, I'm more than okay with the fact that women don't want to be around a person like that knows their interpersonal shit, along with the many other attributes within the male and female psyche, the female psyche essentially, as well as our own psyche in the sense of psychology to start with. So Miguel Joel Natario, you know who this is again. I'll be waiting for your response on Facebook Messenger, email, or phone. You can even contact Gina, and Gina will probably contact Paula. Paula will probably contact me. I don't. But trust me, Miguel Natario, aka Joel Natario, I have and always considered you a close personal friend and brother. Always have, always will. And I do hope that you forgive me for if at all, if I betrayed your trust and confidence in any way at any point in time within us knowing each other as well. And this is your friend from the sports shop and who you know as a Longs historian saying all this, and I can say more. And I thank you for taking the time to listen to what I have to say. Please stay safe, Miguel, aka Joel Natario. And like I said, I'll be waiting for your response.